Member of the bowling club. When he retired, he spent a lot of time up here in the summer. It was part of his social life, and in his latter years, when he was unable to bowl, he would come up and sit and talk. And then when he passed away, he asked that his ashes should be spread up here, and his ashes are behind that bench there, and so are my mother's. And that's one thing I can say about this place. He will always be here, where he enjoyed his latter years.
No community is complete without some scouts, and Malcolm Carruthers has fond memories of running the Mixenden troop.
No, we were based at church, at Holy Nativity, yeah. They had a good troop, a good lot of lads, yeah. We used to go all over. We used to do a lot of, you know, to raise money for camping and that. We used to have jumble sales and all sorts. Football matches, you know, against women and dressed up, all sorts like that.
At the heart of any community, you will find individuals who quietly get on with their lives, but at the same time enrich the lives of others. Take Malcolm Debenham, for example.
I am retired, but I run a small club for miniaturists, making miniature stone models. I started off in 1996. Basically, I saw some small models that someone else had done, and I thought, well, I wouldn't mind having a go, because at that time I had plenty of time on my hands. So I went down into my own little yard, picked up some bits of stone and put one together. I got feedback, so I made another one. The first one, I called it Bog End Cottage. The bit of money I make out of the club buys materials, you know, I make nothing out of the club in itself, but I enjoy meeting the people, same as I do when I go to the craft shows and the agricultural shows. The two youngsters down there have come on really well. Jimmy, initially when he started, he rushed it, and I had to keep telling him, but if you look at his work now, it's spot on. And look at it this way, if they can do it in miniature and get the idea on the various types of stone, the heads, the sills, the mullions, they can do it in reality. It's the same thing. If you scaled one of these up, you know, it's exactly the same, because stone for stone, what they do and what I do, there's the same amount of stones as what there would be in the real thing. Yeah. But just make sure that courses stay the same, won't you? Yeah. You know, even. Use your straight edge. Yeah. And that way, which you have done, I can see that. And in here it'd be wrong.
The estate is now nearly 60 years old, and 3 generations have grown up here, been educated and worked here, raised their own children, and sometimes other people's. They have made homes for themselves, and almost in spite of itself, Mixenden has become a real community with a real history. A history dotted with characters and oddballs, with people doing their best whatever the circumstances. What was once a byword for all that was bad about 60s estates and 80s appalling social housing has become a good place to live, still with problems, but still with heart and energy, and a strange unwillingness to give in.
Well, I just love Mixenden. I always say if I wouldn't lottery, where would I live? I don't know. I'd have to build an house just on hillside, perhaps in a big field or something. But I just think there's a great community spirit here in Mixenden. And I think if you've ever been in any sort of trouble or any need, the people in Mixenden will rally round and help you as much as they can. So I always feel there's a great community spirit here.
There's a lot of things that are starting to take off now. Clubs are starting to build up again. This could be built up again into a fabulous club. Like I say, we're part of the Mixenden History Group, and there's other groups using the church hall for different things.
It feels very much like there's an upward surge of people taking a pride in their community, being proud of being part of Mixenden. And I think there's still very much an element here of there still being a sense of community. And I think that's mainly because people don't move away, so you've got extended families, so they're there to support each other. The Mixenden Initiative have come into the area and they've done a lot of work with the young people in particular.
Mixenden Initiative is a neighbourhood management organisation, and we're all about working with local people to build bridges between local people and local services and really harness all the excitement and participation that there can be in the community for shaping our own place and making it how we like it. We just provide a bit of wherewithal for other people in the community to take things forward. There's 10 to 15 projects going on at the moment really in Mixenden. Junior Wardens is something we're really proud of, and it's all about young citizens really taking a lead in shaping their community. One of the things that junior wardens seem to be really passionate about is the fantastic environment that's around Mixenden. You can see what a lovely valley this is, and Paul Birchall has been involved with the wardens at Ash Green, who've put up nesting boxes all the way along the river valley. There was great excitement when birds were nesting and fledging this year.
So that's ready to go in.
Look, that's that's the church, and that's where we walk up to school.
There's been initiatives such as the street wardens around the estate and obviously the PCSOs that now help the police. The church is involved in the sense that we have the police forums held here so that residents are able to come to those, as well as the Middle Mixenden Residents Association also meet at the church, and they're able to bring their views then and their concerns to either the residents committee or to the police themselves. People are beginning to move into the area because they see it as a positive move. The school, for instance, had an excellent, outstanding Ofsted report and has now become a very popular school for people to send their children to. And obviously people then start thinking about moving into the catchment area in order to have their children go into Ash Green School. So, you know, it's very positive.
A lot of our families here haven't got cars. A few have, but a lot haven't. So if they want to go to the supermarket, for example, they've either to get on a bus, and that means lugging heavy bags of shopping home, or they've to walk, which is even worse if you're walking home with heavy bags of shopping. So I think a supermarket and some more shops in the middle would really help. But I also think that there's not a great amount for children to do either. I know we've got the outdoor play centre, but I'd like to see more recreational facilities. And I remember a long time ago when I moved out of Stanley Green School and came down here, that we were promised when Stanley School closed and was demolished that we'd have some sort of recreation up there for children. And that was 12 years ago, and we still haven't got it.
I've seen all the shops go. The mills have all gone. I've seen the pubs disappear. There was once a working man's club, that's disappeared.
The sooner they start putting money back into this community and getting rid of the rubbish like that, the shops and the area where jumpers used to stand, cleaned up and made into something where people can go, the sooner the better.
When we started in Mixenden, we asked people what they thought of the area, and one of the things that people were very clear about was that they liked the localness, if you like, of their shops, and they were keen to retain that. So when this site is redeveloped, there will be some new shopping on the area as well. We know that the council has money to develop a new library, so that will certainly happen. We want local people to get really involved in shaping what that place looks like, and making sure that Mixenden gets the revamped library and public space that it deserves.
It's a great place to live, The people are absolutely brilliant, apart from the odd one or two, which you will always get on any estate that you live on.
It was frowned upon, was Mixenden in the 60s, but now Mixenden's a nice place to live. It's a nice, clean area.
I think people who come to Mixenden are very surprised because whatever image they have of the place in terms of it being an urban estate, when you first drive into Mixenden, the first thing that strikes you is the fact that it's in a valley. And you're absolutely, you're surrounded by lovely countryside all the way around you. So the hillside are the first thing that people notice. And then unfortunately the second thing they notice are the tower blocks, because you have to literally drive through them to get onto the estate.
The friendliness of Mixenden and the people you meet and the people you have a drink with and so forth was very, very pleasant to me. The people that I really met and mixed with and have a laugh with is very, very friendly people. I have no problem. I walk any time of night. I don't do it now, but when I used to, I never have any problem walking around. I'm meeting people. They know me more than how I know them. All I heard, hello, Mr. McDonald, hello, Mr. McDonald. I don't even know who said so. I just say hello and I'm done.
I mean, for me, what's really great about Mixenden is the huge, long history and tradition of the community here. There's always somebody who can tell you something really fascinating about the past of Mixenden, but at the same time, everybody's really excited about the future. So I know that whatever it looks like in 20 years' time or 40 years' time, it's still going to be a great place to live and work, and Calderdale should be really proud of Mixenden.
It's a nice place to live, even now. A lot better than some other places.
But ladies and gentlemen, it's been lovely to come down and see you tonight. A big thanks to my mate Birchall and to everybody. And I'll finish on a serious note. When I was a kid growing up in Halifax, and I only grew up just up the hill there in Illyworth, when I was a kid growing up here, my grandma used to take me to one side and, well, leave me there. And she used to say to me, we're Yorkshire folk, and Yorkshire folk have an old saying, don't they, Sky, don't they, Welshire, that says there's no wrong with right folk, and Mixenden a bloody right folk. Good night, God bless.